It's the start of a new year and you want to actually start learning the piano, but don't know where to start. I am going to share with you 7 practical tips that can help you get started on your piano learning journey. At the end of the video, I have a bonus tip that ties in all of the other 7 tips together, so make sure you stick around for that. Tip number 1, set goals. If you already have goals, that's excellent. I want you to write them down. If you don't have goals or don't know what kind of goals to set, I have some questions that you could ask yourself to help prompt these goals. Questions you can consider when setting goals might include: do I have a keyboard, instrument, piano at home that I can practice on? And if you don't have one at home, I always recommend, no matter what brand it is, that it has 88 keys and that it is weighted keys. Another question that you can consider asking is, what kind of music am I interested in learning? Are you interested in pop, jazz, film, anime music, classical? All of these genres have very beautiful and fun, beginner-friendly pieces. Another question you can consider is, how much time am I willing to put into practicing and learning? How much time do I have during the day to put into learning? This is a very important question to consider, because then you can schedule a set amount of time during your day to practice. So setting goals might come easy for some, might take a little bit more time for others, but I recommend doing this no matter where you are, no matter who you are, because this will tie in very nicely with tip number 2. Start with the basics. So the basics include learning how to read notes, being able to find notes on the music on the piano, understanding correct hand position and posture on the piano, and basic technique. The suggestion for when starting with the basics is I would take one concept at a time from the ones that I've mentioned, as well as take it one hand at a time, because it does take some time to develop two-hand coordination. Tip number 3 is learn songs you love, because learning songs that you love will keep you motivated, and that'll be a big factor in whether you continue or not. And so don't just pick songs that don't connect with you just because everyone's playing it or because it sounds impressive, but pick songs that you actually love and connect to. And this will make the learning process so much more rewarding and enjoyable. Tip number 4 is create a practice routine. So I recommend always start slow, even if it's 10 to 30 minutes a day. I think that is plenty of time to get started, and just slowly work your way up. And again, this ties back to our setting goals questions that I got you to consider at the beginning of this video. How much time do you have during your day? How much time are you willing to put into piano practice during your day? And so if you wrote down 10 minutes, that's amazing. Start with 10 minutes and work your way up. If you wrote 1 hour, amazing. That is great. Start with that. You can work your way up as well. So you've got your goals and you have a plan of how you can practice. Now I'm going to give you 3 helpful tips that will keep you motivated, which leads us on to tip number 5. Take it slow and enjoy the process. Learning the piano takes time. I want to remind you that it's okay to take things slow. I also highly encourage you to celebrate your milestones, no matter how big or how small they may seem. You don't have to do everything at once. Just pick one concept, one thing, one technique, whatever it might be, and start from there. This leads us beautifully into tip number 6, which is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are necessary for growth. Nobody's good at something right from the beginning. Don't be afraid of the mistakes, because that's what's going to truly help you grow. And tip number 7 might be the most important tip that I'm going to give you, and it is to just start. There might be many mental barriers that are preventing you from just starting. Maybe you're overwhelmed by all the concepts and don't know where to start. You might be thinking, I have no experience with music. I don't feel like I am musical. I feel like my age is a restriction. And I'm here to tell you, don't compare yourself with others and where they are at. I want you to instead take them as inspiration and just start. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the road, you've put the work in, you've put the practice in, and you look back, I can guarantee that you will see so much growth and that you'll be so proud of yourself. So I just want to recommend, start today, start now. All right, you've made it to the last portion of our video, and I'm going to give you the bonus tip that will tie all of this in together that I wish I knew when I was starting out. And the secret tip is to film yourself. This has been an immense game changer for me as a pianist and musician, especially throughout my undergrad and graduate studies. I would record my practice sessions, my lessons, my performances, no matter what stage they were at, and I would watch and analyze them so that I know what I can improve on. I honestly hated doing this at first because I am my worst critic, and I just cringe, even today, sometimes cringe at the sight of myself playing. But I've learned to appreciate it and learned to love it, because not only is this helpful for your growth, but it is so motivational because you can look back on your previous video or even videos from a year ago and just see how far you've come. And it is so rewarding. So to tie all of these tips in together, I want to just remind you that this is your journey and I am here to help you. If you're interested in more videos like this, piano learning tips, and detailed practice routines, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.